Yeah, what we are seeing today is rectifiers. Okay, the rectifiers use the diodes that we have learned so far. We have learned the PN junction diode. We have also seen the equivalent circuit of the PN junction diode. And in the last class, we have seen the Zener diode and we have solved problems also on Zener diode. Today, we shall see the rectifiers which actually are used in the DC power supplies. Understand where it is used. It is used in DC power supply, everybody. So, what is the meaning of DC power supply? We need to understand. So, where it is being used, it is being used in DC power supply. See, everybody, it's used in DC power supply. Okay, now let's understand. Let's understand what is this DC power supply. Okay, wherein these rectifiers are used. Now, you might have seen the electronic gadgets and the power supplies that we have for them. Okay, so what for those power supplies are used? They are used to charge the battery. Understand? For example, your laptops or the smartphones that you are using for online classes, they need to be charged because they are operated with the batteries. Okay, so that's DC supply. What is AC and DC? Let's understand. Okay, what is AC? See here, everybody. This is AC, the one which keeps alternating like this, which keeps varying like this, is AC. This is AC signal. How does the DC signal looks like? See, the DC signal looks like this. This is regulated output. Understand that point? So this will keep varying with respect to time. The AC signal will keep varying with respect to time. If this is 0, okay, the signal will keep crossing 0 at equal intervals of time. Okay, it has got the positive cycle. This is called as positive cycle of AC signal, and this is called as negative cycle of AC signal. Okay, so AC signals are those which are alternating in nature. So that is called as alternating current signal. DC is not alternate. DC is this like this. There is zero variations. Understand that? So this AC has frequency. It has frequency. Okay, this frequency of DC power supply or DC signal is 0 hertz. Now, let me ask you this. Where have you seen this AC signal? Anybody? In our daily lives, or let me ask you. Suppose if you have to charge your laptop or the smartphone, okay, you connect, where do you connect it? Where do you connect it? You connect it to power supply, right? Power supply which is there in the socket. Okay, so on the wall you will find that, right? So that power supply I'm talking about. So what is the voltage? What is the voltage that gives us? Anybody?
230.
230 volts. So along with the voltage, do we need to talk about anything else?
Frequency.
Yeah, what frequency would it give us? It is 50 hertz frequency. Understand? So we connect the battery to 230 volt 50 hertz supply, which is coming from KB directly to our homes. Understand? But your laptops or the smartphones cannot be operated with this high voltage. Understand that? So when you are connecting your power supply to this 230 volts, there you find something in between the device which is being charged and the power, actual power supply. What is that? It is called as adapter. What is adapter doing? What is adapter doing? It is converting this 230 volt supply to a smaller voltage. Okay, and if it needs DC voltage, this 50 hertz needs to be made 0. Everybody understand that? Okay, so that is what is called as DC power supply. And in such DC power supplies, we find rectifiers as one of the parts. Everybody understand? So what is DC power supply? It takes this AC signal and gives us this regulated DC. Everybody get that point? So what is DC power supply? Is this, see here? DC power supply is this. Everybody just can copy this. DC power supply. What should it do? It should take AC signal, which is alternating like this, okay, and should give us a DC signal like this. Okay, so this is DC and this is AC. Within this DC power supply, you will find these rectifiers. Understand that? So what is the idea? What is the idea of using DC power supply? DC power supplies are used to convert the AC signal into DC signals. Understand? AC signals will have some frequency, and this 50 hertz is standard in India. But if you go to European countries, this comes with 60 hertz. Understand that? Okay, so in India it is 50 hertz. It's not the same in every part of the world. In European countries it is 60 hertz. Okay, as far as I know, rest of the world use 50 hertz, only the European countries use 60 hertz. Okay, the reason, maybe you can search for, you Google it and see why European countries use 60 hertz and why in India we have 50 hertz as AC frequency. Understand? So let's not get into that now. Okay, so just understand where actually the rectifier is situated within this DC power supply and what is that doing within it. Okay, so how is it going to look like? See here. Now suppose if you take rectifiers, for example, you take rectifiers. Okay, let's put a box here. This is block, one of the blocks in the DC power supply. Fine. Now what needs to be given as input? Okay, so this is the this is AC voltage. AC voltage or current can be given. How does it look like? See, it looks like this, as I've shown you earlier. It looks like this. Okay, now see here, this is 0 and this AC signal has got the positive part as well as the negative part. That's why I said you have the positive cycle as well as negative cycle. That means this 0 axis is crossed after every particular duration. Understand that point? Now everybody see here, after the rectifier, suppose you give this as the input to the rectifiers, what would rectifier do? Everybody see here, what would rectifier do? Or what would be the output of rectifier look like? See here, if you give this as the input, okay, it will give you this as the output. What is the difference? Can you make out? What is the difference between the input of the rectifier and output of the rectifier? This is 0. So this is F, let's say. No, this is time rather. This is time. So what's the difference? Can you make out the difference now? Anybody?
Both the cycles are positive.
Here you have, see here, you have positive cycles as negative as well as negative cycles, but the negative cycles are not there. Understand that? And one more thing that I should tell you here is this DC also comes with some voltage. Say this is your X axis, which is time. Okay, this is also time. Fine. So if this is 0 volts, the DC may come with plus 5 volts or 12 volts. Understand? Everybody should understand the electronic devices. Or let me ask you this. What is the difference between electrical and electronics? The devices used in electrical department and devices used in electronic department. The general difference or the thing that you can make out the difference between the devices that we use in electrical department and the devices that we use in electronics department. Any idea you have? Understand this. Electrical department. So for example, if you take electrical and electronics, we have branch, right? Every coil has got electrical and electronic branch. That is the mother branch of IT branches, all IT branches. Which are the IT branches? Computers, electronics and communication, telecommunication, computer science, information science. They're all IT branches, information technology branches, we call them. Under that, we have some circuit branches. Circuit branches are also part of IT departments only. But mother of all these departments is electrical department. Electrical department deals with very high power. That deals with 230 volts power directly. But the electronic devices consume less power and they need less power supply. Maybe plus 5 volts, plus 12 volts like this, or plus or minus 12 volts, something like this. Understand? So the electronic devices operate with smaller voltages, whereas electrical department operates with higher voltages. So the DC voltage that we obtain here should give me a voltage which is less than this 230 volts, because the electronic devices are not made to operate with this particular high voltage. So we have to reduce this to smaller voltage. For example, you can say 5 volts. It need not be 5 volts only, it could even be 12 volts. Okay, so you should just understand that we step down this to smaller voltage. Okay, now this is the output expected. It is all above zero. See, there is nothing below zero. It's all above zero. But here in AC you have negative as well as positive cycles. So something that we have obtained here is, see, the negative cycles are removed now. All are positive cycles. Okay, but the output of rectifier is not a pure DC. This is not a pure DC, mind you. This is called as, what are present there? There are ripples present. Okay, they are called as ripples. They are called as ripples. Okay, and that's why the output of the rectifier is, output of DC power supply is this. We are expecting this, but output of rectifier is giving me this. Okay, so it is called as, because of the presence of ripples, we call it as pulsating DC. It is not pure DC. I want DC like this. I want from this, I want this. But what's happening? What's happening? The output of rectifier is giving me this. It just removed the positive cycles and made all the cycles come as the positive cycles. The negative cycles are removed. Okay, and these cycles are being referred to as the ripples. Ripples are present there. It is not pure, it's not a line, it's ripple which is present there. That's why the output of rectifier is called as pulsating DC. But what do we need? We need a pure DC like this. So what we do to remove these pulses, we use filters here. Everybody should understand, we use filters. So what do filters do? Filters will filter something that is unwanted. What is unwanted here? Can anybody tell me? The ripples are unwanted. So to remove the ripples, we use the filters here. Okay. So when we use filters, the output of filter would now look like this. Everybody just watch. Okay. This is T. The output of the filter would look like this. What's happening? Which is nearer to DC? The output of rectifier or output of filter is nearer to DC? Anybody?
Filters.
Yeah, the output of
Filters.
filter is nearer to DC. That means we are improvising now. This is my aim. Okay. To get this, it was not possible with rectifiers. So what we did, we thought of having filters. What is the purpose of having these filters? The output of rectifier has got ripples in it, which is unwanted. Okay, so these ripples need to be filtered out. So we make use of another device called as filter, which will try filter out as much as many ripples as possible. Okay, so it goes and gives us this, but this again is not pure, but it is better than the ripple or pulsating DC. Okay, and this is called as filtered DC. Understand that this is filtered DC, but it is still not the pure one like this. So can you tell me, have you seen a device which will give you a regulated DC output? Can anybody answer that? Have you seen a device which will give us a regulated power supply, the pure DC? Just try remember what all we have studied here in basic electronics so far. We have seen PN junction diode. Then PN junction diode is how it operates in forward bias, reverse bias. We have seen. Okay, then we saw the Zener diode. Then we came to know that Zener diode operates in reverse bias condition. Then we saw the application of Zener diode. What is the application of this Zener diode? Do you remember? What is the application of?
Voltage regulator.
It is voltage regulator. So what is voltage regulator? What is the output of voltage regulator? Can you tell me? Voltage regulator is the application of Zener diode. So what is the output of voltage regulator? VZ, isn't it? VZ is the output of Zener voltage is the output of, why Zener voltage is the output of the voltage regulator? See here, this is how it is, right? Zener voltage, and this is the output of regulator. What is Zener voltage? See here, everybody, where is that is drawn? Here is VZ. So don't you think VZ is constant here? There is a slight variation, but ignoring that, don't you think VZ is constant? Yes or no? For varying VI, VZ is a constant. Okay. However, you try to vary this VI and vary this VZ. No, you keep varying VI, but VZ across Zener diode will not vary. Okay, and that VZ itself is the V naught. Understand? So when this diode is not varying, when this particular voltage is not varying, means what is it? There is no variation in the output. So that's why we use here in the DC power supply. Next thing that we use is voltage, or let's say just regulator, because it can even be current. Okay, so what we use is regulators. Okay, so when you use regulator, it will give us the regulated output. What does that mean? The regulator output means this. Understand this? This could be plus phi or plus V. You just take down as. So your power supply, DC power supply, consists of all these. The three blocks. One is the rectifier, one is the filter, and another one is the regulator. Regulator we already have seen, because when we were discussing Zener diode, we have seen the regulator, how it is designed. Okay, how the output is going to be the regulated output like this. Okay, because Vz is constant, the output of this is also going to be constant. So we started here with the AC voltage. Now we have got a pure DC voltage. DC is regulated DC. So this is called as regulated DC. So now, if I ask you this question, what would you answer? So, do you think rectifier converts AC into DC? Do you think rectifier converts AC into DC? Yes, it does, but the output of rectifier is not a pure DC. It's not a regulated DC. It is having some ripples. That's why it is called as pulsating DC. So you should understand the output of rectifier is pulsating DC. Okay, where the ripples are present. Okay, so those ripples are to some extent removed using the filters. Then this particular filtered DC is given as input to the regulator, which gives us the regulated DC like this. Okay, so the combination of all these three blocks is your DC supply, DC power supply. Everybody understand that now? Okay, now in this we shall see the rectifiers, how these rectifiers are designed using the diode. So what we are seeing is the application of diode only. Okay, so how a PN junction diode is made use of in these rectifiers is what we are seeing. Is it okay with you, everybody? Fine. Now let's take the heading again as rectifiers. Fine. The rectifiers are used to convert the AC voltage into pulsating DC. That is something that we know. Okay. There are two such rectifiers. Everybody should understand this. There are two such rectifiers. One is called as half wave rectifier and the other is called as full wave rectifier. Okay, so this is what we need to study now. So now everybody take the heading as half wave rectifier. In rectifiers there are two types, one is half wave and the other one is full wave. Let's take half wave rectifier. Now everybody take the heading as half wave rectifier. I hope everybody is copying what I'm writing here. I hope you're preparing the notes now just by, because I'm doing it, I'm myself writing it. So whenever I write, you can write. Whenever I'm explaining, you can listen to that. Okay. So it is as good as your classroom teaching. The only thing is this is virtual classroom. We are not there physically in front of one another. That's it. Otherwise, the speed of teaching is the same. So you can make a note of all the things that are being written here or being explained. Fine, that would be a good reference to you. Anyways, I'm giving you the notes, but that should not be, because not everything that I explain here would be in the notes. So that's why whatever things that you can note here, you have to. Fine. Now let's see how the half wave rectifier looks like. Everybody just copy the circuit diagram now. Everybody. So most of you are electronic students. So these are all going to be very good basics to you. You have to be very strong basics with you. You have to have. Okay. So learn it very well. I'll explain this. Everybody copied on this circuit till then. So this is the load. This is load resistor RL. Okay. Plus, minus. And this is the diode. Diode. Fine. And here, what you're seeing is the transformer. Transformer. Okay. And the input to the transformer is actually AC supply. Where do you find this AC supply? In power boards. So that is 230 volts, 50 hertz supply. Understand this? Now this is what is the half wave rectifier. Now let's understand what is, how the things work here. The new component that you're seeing here is the transformer. Okay. In particular, it is called as step down transformer. Step down transformer. Why it has to be called as step down transformer? Anybody? If you have learned this earlier itself. Anybody? Why the transformer that we are using here in half wave rectifier is called a step down transformer? There are two types. One is step up, the other one is step down transformer.
It converts high voltage into low voltage.
Lower voltage. Good. For electronic devices, I told you we don't use 230 volt supply. We use a supply which is much smaller than 230 volts. So that means, see here, everybody, this is the AC voltage you have. Okay. Now see here. This is called as transformer primary. Okay. This is called as transformer secondary. Everybody is okay with that? Okay, the AC supply, which is 230 volts 50 hertz, is applied at the primary of the transformer. So when it is done, the transformer steps down this 230 volts to a smaller voltage value, which we shall call as Vs. Why it is called as Vs? Because it's the voltage that is there across the secondary windings. Okay, now understand, do you think this Vs is AC or DC? The voltage that we have across secondary windings. It is AC only. The Vs that we have here is AC only because the transformer is not converting AC into DC. What is it doing? It is just converting a larger voltage into a smaller voltage. That is why it is called as step down transformer. Okay, what it does, if you give large voltage, okay, converts large voltage into smaller one, smaller voltage. That is what the transformer is doing. Fine. Now let's understand this Vs is a AC voltage, much smaller than V30 volts, and how much it reduces 230 volts to what voltage it reduces. That depends on transformer turns ratio. See here you have these turns, right? Okay, so these turns are called as transformer turns. Okay, so the ratio, the turnings we have in primary winding, the turnings we have in secondary winding would decide how much it is going to step down. Understand that? So that depends on something called as transformer turns ratio, or it is called as winding ratio also. Okay, so what is that? It is N1 is to N2 because they are saying it is ratio, right? So it is N1 is to N2. So it depends on that. Is everybody okay with that? So to what value the 230 volts is reduced depends on transformer turns ratio. Fine. Now let's assume the Vs as Vm sine omega t. Everybody, Vm sine omega t. Why this Vs is Vm sine omega t? Can you tell me now? Because this is a AC voltage and AC voltages are sinusoidal signals. Understand that? See, AC voltages are sinusoidal signals like this. So that's why I've considered that signal as sine omega t. And what is this Vm? Vm is the amplitude of this sine omega t signal. Where is that? So this is the amplitude. Here it is positive amplitude, this is the negative amplitude. Okay, so this Vm is the maximum amplitude of this sinusoidal signal, and such a signal has come across the secondary of the transformer. Is that okay with you? So how is that going to look like now? Everybody just, can you draw this when I'm drawing this? Everybody, can you draw this yourselves? So it's Vm sine omega t, it is saying. Okay, so let's take this here. this is how a sine wave looks like. It keeps continuing. Fine, this is Vs. Fine, what is this? Can you tell me? If this is Vs, what is this? This is the maximum
VM.
amplitude of Vm. Good. What is this? This is minus Vm. Understand? So this is 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, and so on. Okay, so this is your omega t. So this is how the input signal looks like. Now this input signal is applied to this particular diode. Everybody understand that? So very carefully, just listen to me. Now, when there is this positive cycle, let's just write this. Let's just take this down and let's write VL. Fine. Now, this is omega t only. Okay. Now see, over this duration, do we have the positive cycle of Vs or negative cycle of Vs from 0 to pi? From 0 to pi, do we have positive cycle or negative cycle? We have positive cycle, isn't it? Now, when this is positive, when Vs has got positive cycle, this is positive and this is negative, as I have written there. Is that understood, everybody? When Vs has positive cycle, this end is positive and this end is negative. Okay, when this end is positive of Vs, tell me diode is forward biased or reverse biased?
Forward bias.
It is forward bias.
Forward
Positive
bias.
is connected to P. The negative, the N type is connected to N. And I've been telling you this, if you find just one side of it, if you find P set being connected to positive of the battery, again, you need not have to see the other end where it is connected. Okay, that this is sufficient to say that diode is forward bias. So when diode is forward bias, okay, what it does, it conducts. Okay, when it conducts, it will give you this. Everybody understand that? Okay, now comes this negative cycle. Now comes this negative cycle, 0 to 2 pi. And when it is negative cycle, what would happen to the polarities here? The negative would come here, the positive would come down. The negative polarity would go to the top and the positive polarity would come to the down, come to the bottom. So what would happen to the diode for negative cycle then?
Reverse bias.
The diode would be in reverse bias. Okay, in reverse bias, what is the forward current?
0.
0. So what would happen? It would look like this.
It does not contain.
It does not conduct. Again, a positive cycle comes from 2 pi to 3 pi. Again, it conducts. Okay, from 3 pi to 4 pi. Again, there is
Does
negative
not
cycle.
conduct.
Does not conduct. Okay, so that means this is how the output we are going to get. Though it is not a pure DC, what is the advantage that we have here with this particular signal? Anybody? What is that we are able to do or achieve with rectifiers? We are able to achieve that what we have achieved is we have removed the negative signal here, because see here your DC is all positive, right? But your AC had positive as well as negative here, AC signal. Okay, so what is that we are able to do is we have, though we are not able to obtain the pure DC, we at least have been successful in removing these negative cycles. Everybody understand this point? Okay, so this is how the things go. Now this is your BM. Now you will have DC, right? This has got a DC component. If we take the average of this, okay, we can get VDC. This is VM. Okay, this is VDC. Everybody understand that? Now similarly, when we have voltage VL, okay, the current that passes through, when do we have voltage VL? When there is a current that is passing through the diode, right? Okay, so that means the IL also we can write, the load current also we can write, which is very similar to your VL. Okay, so this is current, mind you, this is current IL, this is voltage IL. Fine, you just have to bring these lines down. Okay, see here it is flowing, here it is not flowing, here it is flowing, here it is not flowing, again it is flowing, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. Okay, you can just write all this. This is how the load voltage and load current are going to look like. Fine, there are ripples present. Okay, sorry, this is IM, and there is some DC component also. Okay, so which is represented by the dotted path here, dotted line here, and that is called as IDC. Okay, so what is this IDC and VDC we are talking about? Needs to be seen. Everybody understand that? So how the output of half wave rectifier is going to look like? It is going to look like this. And how we can say the half wave rectifier gives us the output for positive cycle of the input voltage, and it does not give us the output for negative half cycle of the input voltage. Okay, and what is that we are able to achieve? We are able to achieve that the negative cycles of the AC are removed by using the rectifiers. Understand that? So let's stop here for today.